Okay. I think we might start. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to have a conversation here with Samah. I think I was talking to a few of you, and I think it might be worth introducing Brave. There's Aya here in the far corner, but really, if you have any more questions, you can then grill him. But overall, Brave is around supporting creativity. And the first project that started with Brave is Brave Chapters, where we support artists every quarter, essentially, and connecting them with people from the industry, mentors, and supporting them on their studio costs as well. And now we're what, 4 chapters in? And then there's also Brave Talks, which is what's happening today. There's also a podcast that's going to be going, and it's sort of ever evolving. So if you go on the newsletter or Instagram or blah blah blah, you'll have more information there. But today, this is our moment with Samah.
Yes.
I'm really excited for this chat.
Me too.
I feel like we've started talking a lot, so it's just going to be a bit of an extension of that.
Straight into it. Yeah.
Samah, you've studied in your BA, your MA, arts. You graduated in 2024, is it?
Yes.
Yes,
I always get really confused with the year. Yes, last year. Yeah. Last September, graduated.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I feel like we're getting you at an interesting point because, so you're a graduate, you're now fully working on your practice and producing a lot. We actually have one of your works here, which we'll talk about further down.
Yep.
And, you know, you've got your solo show in October, which will be great.
There's a lot happening. I'm busy all the time, but it's good, it's welcome. Yeah.
And I think I wanted to start off with some things that you talked to me about around like the process in which you work. So we were talking about creativity and how you have always been an observer, and you realize that even down the line, that you're highly your sensitivity goes through observation a lot.
Yeah, hugely. Well, I'll go into it. So, a lot of my work it's like a regurgitation almost of what I deem desirable. Things that kind of occupy like a double-edged space. I love a little juxtaposition, contrast, whether that be in the visual composition of the piece, in its context. Everything's researched meticulously, but it always comes from what I've seen first. So if I'm on the bus, when I used to live in South, I take the bus all the time, be looking out the window, like every advert, every single shop sign, you know, going through Central, you look at the advertising, the storefronts, especially around Christmas time, like literally everything. It comes in, it just sits there, and then I'll just, when it comes to making work, it kind of comes to the fore. It's always something that's interesting to me, is just to observe.
You have like a database of images that you've
I literally
collected.
do, Like in my brain, I have it on my MacBook. I literally have a folder of like just screenshots of like anything. If I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Pinterest, whatever it is, like screenshot from favorite movies. Like I have to rewind, and I'm like, okay, I really like that scene, and it just goes in this database. Literally.
Do you file them, or is it all just?
It's a mesh.
Okay.
It's a mess and a mesh. Yeah. So
when you go back to research, how does that then go from the thinking to the doing? How do you go from?
I'll sit and ponder. There's a lot of like lines of inquiry that I kind of explore. So in my practice, sociological theory is like something that's super interesting to me, and philosophical theory. So obviously consumerism and capitalism is like a very big theme in my work that I'm always looking at. So, you know, like hierarchies and social standings, what that entails down to like the brass tacks of imagery, because imagery is everything. We live in an image world. There's a lot of theory on Baudrillard, Roland Barthes as well. just kind of dissecting the psychology of imagery, basically, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, I apply that to my thinking, and then I'll pick a subject matter that I feel like sits in between that, and then explore it, if that makes sense. Yeah.
And what were when did you decide that you want to go from looking at things and that you found stimulating to sort of doing? And what were the first formats that you started doing in?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think.
Maybe you don't even remember. It's too long ago.
It was very gradual. So I remember in my undergrad, I started it. I had no clue how to even. I don't even know how to describe it, because as a painter, like you have like a line of inquiry and then a research base, like a way of thinking and applying it. For me, it started as just a jumble of ideas. So like I knew what I liked, I knew what was visually interesting to me, but I was not equipped with how to formulate or research my ideas properly. So it was just like, okay, I'm going to paint this and I'm going to do this because it looks nice to me and it's appealing. Then in my third year of my undergrad, I kind of got some assistance in how to formulate and organize my thoughts, but it wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. It was only when I did my master's with that extra pressure, because we would literally talk about this earlier, you have a year to like make the most of that course. So it was constant pressure.
Before the end of year exhibition.
Yeah,
like
you literally,
show.
It's a year-long course, the MA. So I took every single tutorial. I literally therapized myself. I was like, what is it in your work? What is interesting to you? How can you look at it expansively? How can you organize your thoughts? And yeah, it helped me to stop being an observer and kind of direct that into making, if that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like I really jumbled that up, but it's hard to explain it. Yeah, it's a lot.
And did you work backwards to the end of year show, or because is that like sort of like the culmination of the masters?
It kind of was. So the way that I work, a lot of painters are very experimental. So you'll see a lot of like thumbnail sketches and drawings and little paintings. I am not. That's not me. I'm much more organized, much more, again, an observer, a writer before anything else. I research, I think, and then I visualize my end piece, because that's what it is. It's my exploration. It's a point. And then, I worked backwards. So that was my way of thinking that I developed from my master's. And then with my actual showpiece, it kind of was a culmination of like everything that I'd learned about what I was really interested in. And
then you were saying how working backwards, that was something that your teachers didn't really encourage you to do.
Yeah, a little bit on that.
No, but maybe that goes well with your style.
It does.
Which is,
Yeah, because I paint meticulously. I love my materials. I love my materials. I love painting, just everything, the texture, the sensation. If you look at my work, hopefully, not to toot my own horn, but you can feel it. Like it's something that is almost like you can grab it. That's the whole point. But yeah, in my master's and even in my undergrad, art school encourages free thinking, which it does. It does do that. But sometimes you're kind of like not put in a box. But if you work the way I work, you kind of get criticized a little bit, which I don't know, I felt like I was just off my training wheels, and kind of, we were talking about validation earlier. I just got off my training wheels and I'm finally accepting this is how I work. I work backwards. I have the image in my brain, I'm going to work to it. But my tutors would be like, no, you shouldn't work like that. You should explore the process. You should experiment a bit more. You should do more studies. You should work on cardboard. You should do this. And I'm like, no,
I know what I want.
Yeah, I know what I want. Like I know what I'm painting. This is how I work. But yeah, it was hard to get over that, to be honest. But yeah.
You had to persuade them.
It kind of felt like it.
Just by doing, probably.
Yeah, like I had to literally defend my practice. It was only.
Wow.
I know, which is not the vibe. Like,
no.
when you
it probably means that you had to be real in it and quite confident about it.
Yeah, which is I don't know. When you just figured out what you do, you kind of have to stand by it, and you're like, oh, you're questioning me, so am I right? Like, you're a tutor, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, I figured it out after, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And this one dates from when, this painting?
I did this last year. So this was for my solo that I had in Berlin in November last year. It was called Excalibur, and it was exploring kind of the signs and symbols associated with rituals of power. So I was super interested at the time in kind of like knighthood, war, you know, these big spectacles in society, these like huge historical events, hierarchy, so like the upper echelons of society, how they show their wealth, divide, and the signs associated with that, basically. And this piece specifically, I called it After Communion. My graduate showpiece was like 2 glasses clinking, and I kind of wanted to set like a scene, basically, of like a grand feast. And in my head, I was like, let's not overthink it. What would you associate with a grand feast? You know, something that's so ornate and almost vapid, something as innocent as a candelabra, but the most ornate table decoration ever, you know, with like draped in like this beautiful ribbon, silk, and yeah, I don't know, I painted it. I thought, that's a good show.
And the dark background, something very simple about that.
Yeah, I do that a lot actually in
do.
my work. I think because my subject matter is so detailed and have a graphic design background, so I'm very particular about my visual composition. Yeah, like, you know, what I want you to see. I don't want you to focus on the background. I don't want it to look like an image that I've just regurgitated and made. That this is the focus. That's what I want you to look at. But yeah.
And you were saying like when you had been to New York, there was this like uber consumerism that you had sort of loved, right?
Loved
Some
it.
people can feel quite overwhelmed by that, but
Not me.
in the same way that you've and taking photos all over the place, and then editing those photos. Clearly, the contrast, I can imagine, heightening the highlights as well.
Yeah, I think, obviously, there's the process of observing that we spoke about, which is looking at your imagery, really looking at it, like breaking it down all the way down to its composition. Because again, there's a point to the advertising that you're seeing. We were talking about psychology earlier, only very lightly, but everything's intentional. So me as a painter, I'll take it, I'll break it down, and then, you know, I'll make my own piece. Going to New York was great. Like, it was a quick layover. I was literally running on like 0 hours of sleep, so it was very heightened, but worth it. It was nice. It was nice. Literally walked everywhere, like in the city on foot. But the adverts, it's like London on steroids. Like it was massive. The bins, the rats, amazing. God, the adverts. Yeah, I loved it. It was a lot.
Yeah, and then so these pieces. What's interesting is even from what you see on Instagram or your website, you see there's an evolution to even more of that realism. That sort of, you call it, what do you call it?
Figurative realism.
Figurative realism.
I think that's the right term.
It sounds right.
I hope it's right. So every time people ask me, I'm like, yeah.
and then so you can really see an evolution where you're going even more towards that. And you're telling me you're going larger scale.
Yes.
So you're sort of pushing it.
I'm really trying to push it. I think I bite off a lot more than I can chew, like all the time. Well, this is something I figured out in my master's, was because I was forced to think so expansively, it's ways of presentation as well that can make you think. So advertising, because that's such a key element of my practice. You know, on the tube you'll notice like, you know, they're like little slots. They're like little squares of adverts everywhere, and then they always fit like a kind of format and the layout, and they're always just slightly separated, whatever it is. I thought in doing my MA and after the fact, okay, let's play with the presentation of it. What is the main presentation of advert that you see? It's a billboard. It's like a big billboard all the time, and it's always a really specific scale. So I thought, okay, like push the scale of your work, really push it, because luckily I have a great studio space which affords me the chance to do it. So far this year I've done a 3-meter painting, which the way that I paint, like, that was very time consuming,
Sure.
but so worth it.
Can you explain that? The way that you paint?
Yeah, so I was talking about materiality. I love oil paint. If anyone paints with oil, you will know what I mean. But it is literally a type of alchemy. Like, once you know your medium properly, you know the different mediums that you add into it to make it dry differently or make it different layers of, you know, opaqueness or what's the other one? Transparency.
Transparency.
It's just amazing. So the way that I work, I'll find my image, I'll do an outline, I'll project it. I always stretch my own canvases, and then I kind of do like a bit of an underpainting. So I'll plan where my paint's gonna go. Always a big square brush, like just blocking everything. And then when I get to the end layers of the painting, I glaze. Extremely time consuming, so worth it because it builds that touchability, you know.
Texture and
exactly. So that process is a lot of thin layers of very slightly different hues of paint. You build them up, you let them dry, you blend them, and then you do it again and again until you reach your end goal.
And how is a larger scale harder for that process?
It's that times
More.
the scale. So that 3 meter painting took me like a couple of months of like proper graft to do, because it was metal as well. So it's, if you guys haven't seen it, it's like a big shiny car hood ornament, like an old timey like Pegasus basically. So it's got the wings and the feather details, and it's very, very shiny. Of course,
very shiny. It's very cool. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it was incredibly difficult.
But also, you probably have to, because it's so detailed and so big, and so you're probably doing like one of those twinkles, but that's just much larger.
Yeah.
You probably have to go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, literally. It's like I broke 2 wheels. Yeah. No, I'm lazy. I always sit, but I broke 2 of the wheels on my chair, just back forth, all the time. It's so annoying. But yeah, the sparkles, they were difficult. I love a little sparkle. On all my work, there's always that sheen. My airbrush, I had to go so far just to like get a good little dot on there. Yeah, not usual.
And your studio space, how did you get that?
Well, we were talking about this earlier. Honestly, by pure luck. So I'm a Cell Studios. Oh, I love it. Yeah. So grateful. It's literally like 5 minutes from where I live, which is insane. Right. 24-hour access. It's really good. It was just by chance. I emailed a bunch of places. I got it very early. So in my master's, I got it in June, which was like a month and a half before we finished. Yeah, I got it in June. I just did my viewing. I messaged the guy. And then it was really easy, actually, luckily. And then I've kept it since then. I'm holding on to it, like, yeah. It's a great space, and it's allowed me to really, like, really get into my practice, because with the MA, studio space, limited, coming from Camberwell, if you know, you know, the space was atrocious. Like, literally that was your wall space in the painting course.
In Camberwell?
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally that. Like, it was so bad.
But surely students would complain about that.
Oh no, that's another topic.
Okay.
Yeah. No, people complain, but it was not. Okay. It was not met very well.
And at the RCA, was that different?
The RCA was marginally better. You do get way more space. I got like a whole corner of a room, which was amazing. But yeah, nothing compares to having your own space. I used to work in my bedroom, like little Peckham box room in my master's, and I did my graduate piece, and there was like no space whatsoever. So yeah, the studio space is very welcome now.
Yeah. Yeah. What does it? How often would you go? What does it? Do you work outside of your studio space?
No, never. I don't do it because I'm paying so much. I'm there all the time, basically, whenever I can. When I'm not, I do actually have. So I don't just work in oil paint. I do watercolor, color pencil, graphite, like just a lot of study, mixed materials stuff. So I have a little box in my room, and I just kind of, when I'm home, just so I can keep creating, I'll do like a little study here and there. But no, most of the time in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there, what I want to get to is you had talked about the sort of community that you have built over time, also through the other students you had met, and I presume possibly a studio space as well would offer other artists.
Yeah, it does.
And because you said when you go from being a student to essentially being in the art market, there are so many things you don't know or you hadn't really trained in. So, you know, I don't know, transport of a piece or like pricing or...
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a
consignment.
Lot. Yeah, no, I don't know what that is, no. No, when I was doing my masters, it was very heavily like, okay, we're going to teach you how to build a practice, how to explore, how to build your theory, but there was never, you hear a lot of artists complain about it, and it's fair, I mean, you're paying so much for your tuition. No one ever equips you for how to price your work, what a consignment is and what a fair consignment is, how to defend yourself as an artist when, you know, galleries or people kind of try and prey on you a bit, because that happens a lot. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard about Arusha Gallery recently, like just withholding payment from artists. It happens a lot, like, you know, that's a lot of trial and error. That's talking to your peers and having shows and making the mistake to learn, which is not ideal, especially when you're trying to build your literal career. Yeah, I had to learn through a lot of guesswork. Sadly for my colleagues, I did learn from their mistakes, so not me, but not ideal. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard.
And are you all very supportive of each other's works even after graduation? Are you still
very
building
much
on that sort of?
Yeah,
because London has obviously so many opportunities.
Definitely, I think in comparison to anywhere else, the most. Yeah, I would say, I mean, my year group's super supportive. You know, everyone kind of shares little shows in the group chat, and we'll all try and go when we can. I was a bit of a hermit crab in my masters, though. I so regret it, but I was so focused on like trying to build my practice. I did not socialize very much. I wish I did, but it's fine. Still some, you know, connections. But no, my friends came more from, I don't know, my other artist friends, and just mingling that way, I guess. Yeah.
And we were talking about London earlier, and how it is to navigate that as a place, and how like it's the heart of creativity for you, but also, you know, it's tricky because of, you know, the price of living. There's things that we know that exist here, and juggling both.
Yeah.
Where do you sit there?
Being a painter in London, or just being an artist, is so difficult. Unless you have like a place that is paid for, it's impossible. I mean, you got to pay for a studio space. You got to hope and pray that you get a show, and hope and pray that your work sells to make something from it. Because otherwise, you're just funneling money into your practice. And it's a great thing. It's great being a painter. I love it, and I would never stop. But there's a lot of sacrifice you have to make. Like, you want to live in the city, you want the experience, you're going to have to compromise on space probably. You're going to have to split your time with a job that you probably don't want to do, just so that you can keep pursuing it, and then just hope and pray that one day, you know, something will come through for you, you know?
You say that you'll continue painting.
Always.
Why?
Why? I just love it. I don't know. It's so integral to who I am as a person. Like, creating, making, observing, thinking, just putting it out there. I would never not do that. And that's weird for me, because I'm like an anxious overthinker, stability, like need to have a future, need to get a house one day, but then I'm kind of like, I'm literally spitballing every single day. But worth it. Worth it. Yeah.
And are you planning where you're going to go to in your work?
I mean,
has the evolution been planned? Because it exists, it's already happening.
It does exist, and I think I don't actually realize that a lot of the time. I mean, luckily I went to the RCA, which was amazing, and honestly I didn't think it would happen. It did. I did my MA. Against all odds, I managed to support myself in the city when like working and still doing that and being really pleased with the results. And then yeah, I've had a good trajectory so far, and I'm actually very grateful. I had my show last year. I've got another show in October. Very excited.
What's that one going to be about?
That's my solo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there a theme? We've talked about this.
Yeah, there's a theme. It's
Yeah.
guns.
Guns.
Yeah, big guns. that's all I'm gonna say. I'm so excited. I've been like grafting on that.
Are you producing already?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've got a few pieces already. I was working on some today. Super excited for that. But yeah, I think for the future, I can't plan. I want to plan, but I can't plan because I don't know.
Okay.
I hope that one day I can keep working, keep expanding my practice, because that's my number one priority. Sales will come, you know, if your work is wanted, whatever, that's not a priority to me. It's expanding my practice. I want to keep making great paintings, pushing, you know, the limits, going bigger, getting them in crazy places, whatever it is. And then, I don't know, hopefully in future, maybe just have like my own big studio space and like just keep doing that.
Is that your dream?
Yeah.
Your own studio space?
Yeah, just like so my own massive like Giovanelli, like I just want a warehouse in Mani. That's literally the dream. But yeah, just my own space where I can freely create, where I'm not chained to like a job that I don't really want to do. You know, no hate to my job, but don't really want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still giving yourself that space that maybe a lot of people don't even really give that much space to creativity, or they like...
They don't. And I mean, that's fair because people have their own prerogatives, like, you know, anxiety, again, like fear of, you want stability. Being an artist, you're not stable. Like, there's no, like, it's so uncertain. So that's fair, but yeah.
The opportunities that have come, the show in Berlin, the show in London.
Yeah.
How do they come to you?
Instagram.
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 Yeah.
Instagram, me and Io, we talk about this all the time. It is literally the artist LinkedIn. It is so key for your practice because it's a visual platform. It's, you know, it's how people see your work. You know, all the private views, all the pictures, all your friends, people can pre your mutuals, and you know, it's like a very much. Yeah, it's LinkedIn. It's literally LinkedIn. Yeah. So my first solo, literally came from a DM. It was a DM, and I was like, oh, don't know about that one. And then kind of like looked at her following and then checked her credentials, and I was like, okay. I had a call, and then she was like, oh, okay, I'll fly you out to Berlin. You can get measurements. I was like, okay. It was all very, you know, just gotta trust the process. But Instagram, very much. And then I would say.
Do you get sales on Instagram?
Yeah. Which actually, when I first tried it, because I kind of initiated it myself the first time, it was so successful, and I was like, wow. So like people follow you who are interested in your work.
Gallery out.
Yeah, which is impossible to do nowadays, and if you sell for studio price, it's quite nice, you know. But yeah, Instagram, and then gotta have a website. If you don't have a website already, it's difficult and it's long, but it's worth it. You know, yeah, sometimes you get requests on your little form. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And how do you, because Instagram is where it's at, what game are you playing with Instagram? Like, how much are you publishing, posting?
Ew. So as a painter, it depends on like what you're, you know, if you're a gallery or a charity or whatever it is, you need to be posting regularly. Like, you know, that's what you got to do. As a painter, it's such a fine line. Like, you can't flood the feed. You can't flood it because then you'll lose engagement. So you kind of have to do a lot of guesswork. When you post something, it needs to be at a good interval of time. You don't want to do it too soon, but not too late. If you leave it too late, you're not going to get any engagement. Yeah. You know, people will forget you even exist. So there's so much like mental mind games. And then you've got to have a good image. Always got to have a good image. I always do like one main image of my work and then the detail shots after.
Yeah. It's a lot of
thinking.
It's a lot of hats to have to manage. Do you enjoy it?
I don't know. I used to enjoy it. Now it's kind of like a chore. I've not posted on my Instagram except about today's talk. Like, I haven't done a post in a long time because the show that I'm doing, the work that I'm doing for my solo, I'm trying to keep it under wraps. I really want to post it because it's good for engagement. So, you know, it's just a bit, it's like, what do we do? Yeah.
Can we talk about where it is going to be?
Yeah, we can. It's going to be in Brick Lane. It's in a gallery space called Galeria Objet. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's super nice. It's like it's very long. It feels like a passageway, like the whole show space. Yeah, with like a little. It's like that. It's like a house. It's really, really nice. I love it. Got exposed brick. Yeah, there is a patio. I forgot about patio. Yeah, I'm just thinking about the main show space. There's a patio. There's like a little space as you come in, which is super nice. But for the works, because I play with distortion a lot, I think they're gonna look so great. That's just offset on the walls. I'm excited.
It's a good place to touch on that topic as well.
Yeah, very much.
And so that's in October.
Yeah.
During Freeze.
Yep.
How cool.
I know.
What's happening?
It's gonna be busy, I hope. But yeah.
And when you think of that show, are you like just producing till then? Like, does the deadline mean that it's? Because I always wondered, like, when do you know that you're done with the work? Do you need just a deadline, like a show, to be like, well, I mean, that's to be tomorrow?
When do you know you're done with the work? Oh my god. With me, I have to be so firm with myself and just be like, this is done, okay? Because we don't have time. You just need to finish it now. In terms of the work projection of time for when it will finish, I would ideally like to work up to it, but I don't think logistically I can. I feel like I need to finish a month before just to photograph it, varnish, basically. So, what do we start? June, July, August, September. Yeah. So plenty of time, but I'm working big scale, so you know, I keep doing it to myself. It's fine, I can get it done, but it's I need to graft, basically.
Well, I guess again, just back to you think you work towards an idea that you already have in your mind. So I guess when you reach that, then that's when it's done. That's
true. Yeah. Yes, actually, that is true.
Is there ever a day where you go and you're like, wow, that's it. This is it.
Sometimes it's so weird. It just depends. If the painting starts off well, I don't know how to explain that. If it's unproblematic at the start, it usually finishes when I get that moment. I look at it and I'm like, okay, we're done now. If it doesn't start off well, there's issues, or I can't quite figure out the colors or like how to layer it. It's a slow burner. It takes a long time.
Yeah, what I liked about the way you talk about your work is just like, oh, I love this one, and I was like, that's great, because you actually have a really strong emotional attachment to them.
I do.
And you let it go.
Oh my god, no, seriously, don't remind me. I remember, like, historically when I've gotten sales, I'm like, yay, I can make rent, you know?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, wait, no, don't leave me. I don't want to let go of my work a lot of the time because I'm so attached to it. Like, it's the subject matter, I'm so obsessed with what I'm painting. Like, the whole point is to, like, kind of worship it almost, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want it to leave me. I need it to, but I love my work. I love what I do. I don't think there's a painting I've done that I've shared that I'm like, ugh. No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I love every painting. I think that's why I'm so meticulous with when I'm planning it. And I work to that end image. I work backwards. Yeah. Because it's something that I love. I desire, you know? I want other people to look at it and be like, oh, I wish I could just like touch that. I wish I could just hold that, you know? Yeah.
That's cool.
Part. Thank you.
And any sources of inspiration in particular for the next show?
A lot of movies.
Okay.
A lot of movies. Yeah, you know it. Yeah. It's just that there's just something about the fact that every single scene is, again, it's intentional. So, I mean, the props are thought out. There's a lot of nickel plating, which is shiny, for doing my research. But yeah, every scene is intentional, and the way they're presented is like, oh my god, you know, this is a big gun, and it's like there's just so much symbolism, and Tarantino's great for that because he's all like America, but he kind of takes the mick out of it. And I touched on it very lightly before, but like sociological theory is something I'm super interested in. There's a lot of what do I call them? Sociologists.
Yeah.
Which talk about American culture, which I research a lot. And so, that Tarantino, consumerism, war, and like God, and this whole mesh is kind of what the show's going to be about. But yeah,
like the consumer education, so the consumer communication that we all get.
Yeah.
The imagery, a lot of it.
So much.
Has anyone asked you, like, how do you feel about creating more when there's already so much?
I've not been asked that, actually. That's a good question.
I've been asked that one for some things I did, and I was like, well, I don't know. I guess it's not everything is very. It's like the ethics around like creating, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about putting something out there that might have a commentary on, I guess, every theme that you touch on is.
Oh yeah, there is a commentary. I think
different.
A thing that I touched on in my research, which is kind of the main point of my work, is subversion. I want to do the thing that I don't like to directly comment on it. That's the point. Love Cindy Sherman. You know the fairy tale series?
No.
Fairy tales. She basically did a series on fairy tales where oh my god, like the props that she'd wear, she'd just exaggerate her face, and like she'd be the very thing that critics would be like, oh, what are you doing? Like it's a fairy tale. And she's like, yeah.
Would you do portraiture?
No, I actually started off with that.
Okay.
I feel like that's every painter's like trajectory is like figurative painting.
Sure.
I did start off with that, but no, it was the theory of her work that was appealing to me.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, is like a lot of the artists I look at are they're not typical for what you would think, if that makes sense. So like, for example, she's a photographer. She dresses in characters and costumes. She sets stages and scenes. If you look at her work, you would not see a correlation.
And it's photography.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah.
I love photographers. I think they're great because the staging of the scene, it's false. It's something that's intentional. Which
everything
I love,
is there for a reason.
Exactly.
Sort of,
yeah, and
well,
that's
especially in what she does.
Advertising, exactly. And with your background as well, you know, you can attest to that. I mean, marketing. You know?
But the idea, I guess, is sometimes to sell something, a product or something behind it. Yeah. Rather than, I guess, yours is like a reflection. You're inviting for people to just also appreciate for what it looks like. Yeah.
That's also true. I think I mean more in the sense of the visual elements of an advert.
Yeah.
Are like, for example, you'll have your subject matter, whatever it, like, you know, an iPhone or whatever. It would be every single iPhone advert is like iPhone, blank background. We're, you know, like we're gonna focus on this app and this, and it's just the sheen of the phone or like its features. It's all intentional, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is an iPhone take on a candelabra.
That's it. Yep.
Very much focus on the feature.
Just, I really went in with the shine. That took me so long to paint. Oh my god. Yeah, really? Flashbacks.
What about it?
I think it was the metal, because another thing I do, because I work with literally found imagery, like it's not good quality. All of my source imagery is blurred. Like it's so bad. I literally have to make up the details on it. So this, I had to literally make up the chrome aspects of the metal, and the colors I kind of improvise them as well, because it's just such bad quality. I did it to myself, but yeah.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
I really like it.
Thank you very much.
And we were talking about how you didn't put the I mean, they're not lit, right?
Yeah.
There's a bit of...
I just didn't want the flame. I feel like it would distract, because I really wanted to focus on the highlights of the metal, like these look like little shiny little stars.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
There's almost like a sound to it. You can always think ding.
I love that.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.